So good morning and welcome to MyLab Foundation Skills Gradebook Overview. By now, I know you've started into your class, so you should have some data rolling into the gradebook, so this training will make a lot more sense now. We've already went over in our intro training all of the navigation buttons over here on the left and how to use the student view here as well. So today we're just going to concentrate just on the instructor tool, which I will select. And by the way, my name is Donna. And manage grades, which is where the gradebook is located. Once the gradebook loads, you first have all the same resources that you have throughout the program. Over here in that top right-hand corner is that question mark. If you ever have any grade specific to this page or any page you're on in the gradebook, if you go to that question mark, you will be given a search page and you can type in a keyword, or you can just scroll down and look for your topic and it'll take you to a live link and even a YouTube video. This is the fastest, quickest way to get your questions answered, this little question mark on the top right. One thing to always pay attention to is at the top of the gradebook, each gradebook has its own page. So each discipline has its own gradebook. So always pay attention to what discipline you're looking for, and then know you don't have to go back over here and do anything to toggle between the gradebooks. You can just select the blue tab at the top. So we're going to look at let me see which one I have something in, probably writing skills. We'll look at this. And just look at the different features on the gradebook that you're able to use. The 4 ways that you can review your student results are listed right here, okay? And by now, your class roster should have populated down here. As students work, they populate. We only have me down here because this isn't a live class. So the first way to view results is by the learning path. So if you wanted to see, and I'm in writing, how all of your students did at a glance on their learning path, on that path builder, you could see that right here. All your students' names will populate down here, and this information will be given to you. The overall score, when they last logged in, how many they mastered, how many they need to study, completed, and still needs to study. We're in writing now, but we can even filter this more. Right now, we're just looking at modules, but we could filter it and do topics, and it'll drill all the way down to the topic for us within those modules. So this gives a lot of information. And going into the gradebook and pulling down these reports, you won't hurt anything. I encourage you to do this to find that report you're looking for. So just play around with them. So that is the learning path. The second way to view results is by all assignments. And you'll see there's a drop down here. If you select that, you can filter which assignments you want to look at. You want to look at homework, quizzes, tests, or other. You select what you want. And again, you'll be brought to this page where all of your students their name will be down here. But what I want you to pay particular attention to is this filter here, all modules. Again, we're in writing, but we could toggle right over to math if we wanted to. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just stay right there. If you select the drop down for all modules, you'll see I can pick a specific module that I want to look at. Say we just finished punctuation, and I want to see how everybody did on punctuation. I can choose just that module, but there's an additional filter also right here under topics. Not only do I want to look at punctuation, but I want to see how they did with commas, because that's what we really concentrated on. So now I will get all this information at a glance. Like I said, the student names will be down here, and you will have all this information on every student. The first thing it'll show is the pre-test, the post-test, the path builder, and all the assignments listed up here. It also will give you your class average if you're interested in that as well. By the student names as they finish assignments, Sometimes you might see this little IA, and I know that's very little, and this is a really nice feature. It's item analysis. So if you want to drill down even further and look in the Path Builder and see what questions most of the students were missing, you could pull that down here with this IA. So that's the second way to view results by assignment. The third way is the student overview. Again, all the student names will populate down here, and you will be given this information on every student as well as a class average. The last way is performance by module. Here again, I'm in writing, but I could toggle over to math. I could look at the math gradebook the same way, and don't forget your help button up here in the top right. So right now, I don't have any information because I don't have any students, but what I would have are the averages over here for homework, quizzes, tests, and extra practice in basic math. But there's another filter. If you click that plus sign, now I'm going to be given the same averages over here, or grades, on the topics. So it filters all the way down to the topics. So if we had, just finished multiplying numbers through 12, then I would have grades right there showing. If you're ever interested in the objectives or the student learning outcomes, if you click that plus sign one more time, you'll see that there are the student objectives listed as well as the student learning outcomes. So those are the 4 ways to view results by students. I want to look now at this blue bar right up here at the top. What you will want to concentrate on are these 2 areas here, the export data and the more tools. All the settings within the class have already been predetermined by Harmony, so that's why I'm kind of skipping over these items here. You won't be working in there, but let's look at export data. This is if you want to be able to pull down some Excel spreadsheets and get a glance at how the entire class is working. Really, really good stuff. There's 2 ways to pull data down. One is the quick way, the other is the advanced. And again, the question mark up here in the top right will go over everything that I'm going over again. The quick report comes to you immediately. It will load down here and you'll be able to open it and see it. The advanced goes to Pearson, and it can take up to 24 hours for you to receive that back through an email. I've never seen it take 24 hours, but that's what it says. And I'm going to show you how to do a specific advanced in a minute, because that's one Harmony has sent you as well. So for the quick one, we're going to choose what we want. Say I'm after their student averages. And again, play around with that. Pick it and choose it, and then look at it and see if it's the report you're looking for. And I could choose whether I wanted it in decimals or percents. If I decided I wanted to look at how they did on their learning path, and I can pick my content area. I'm in math, but I could change that. And I want to look at all the modules, it would pull all that up. If I wanted to choose a specific module, I could do that as well, and it would allow me to pull just a specific module up here in this drop down. Say we had just finished decimals and I wanted to see how everybody was doing on decimals. Then I'd just click OK, and it would pull that report up, and I would have it down here. I don't have any live students, so there's nothing for me to pull up, but it is that simple to pull that report up. The other way to pull a report or export data is the advanced one. This is the one that can take up to 24 hours. You'll name your report first, and you can name it, the period you teach it, the days you teach it, it's your name. Whatever it's going to be easier for you to go back and look at that report, that's what you should name it. And these advanced reports, they're always saved. So you can go back to them in the retrieved advanced reports. You choose your type of export. Say I wanted to look at just assignment results. And then you choose the layout. It's going to be an Excel layout. And then you're going to get into a lot of choices here. I'm going to go over to this FAQ that Harmony sent all of you at the beginning. It's this sheet she sent you. If you remember this, it has all this information. If you scroll down into that, she has pulled step-by-step directions on how to pull this particular report that I'm showing you, because it's kind of a lot to remember, but this is the report that she uses. So I thought maybe it would be nice if you were aware that this is the report you can also pull down and look at as well. So it's going to give you specific information, and she has chosen specific content. I think she chose math, yeah, on this one. So she's included screenshots on here, and it tells you, you know, exactly all the way down what to select, and then you'll request that report. And then that report will end up going into this, let me go back, retrieve advanced export report. So that's where you'll see that. So I would use her sheet to know which content areas, which things to pull down here. But you can also pull a different report if you want. If you wanted to find out, you know, when's the last time a student logged in, you could pull that. If you wanted to find out, you know, how much time students are spending working, you can pull that report too. But I would definitely look at the sheet Harmony sent you to see the kind of report that she pulls so that you can pull down that same report. When you're finished with all your filters, you just request the report. All right, we are in the advanced report section. I'm going to go back to the gradebook. And we went over the 4 ways to review the results. We've seen that the student names will populate down here. We've went over the export data button. And so the last button here is more tools. I'm going to do the drop down on that. And you will see this is where student IDs can go. There's all kinds of options here, but the one that really seems to help instructors the most is this search email by criteria. I'm going to select that. And we are in math. You can do this for each discipline. But say you want, and hit the drop down, say you want to know the work activity that students are doing right now. And by that I mean, when's the last time they logged in? When's the last time that they submitted work? You can choose that feature right here. And you can actually put in, I want to see in the last 3 days, what a list of students that have not logged in. And you will get a list of students with their emails that you can use right there to contact those students or know to visit them, you know, during class. And again, don't forget the question mark up here that can show you how to pull that report down as well. All right, I'm going to pause and see if we have any questions before I go to the last way to pull reports. We're going to look at performance analytics, what this looks like within the gradebook. Again, this is live data from a class of mine, but I have blocked out their names. So this is what yours will look like. You'll be in your gradebook. You'll again be able to choose your discipline up here. And what you're going to be looking at over here is performance analytics. So the first thing that you will see is the names. The class roster will populate down here, and then you'll see over here their overall score and the last time they logged in. If you want additional details, go ahead and click that, and you will be given more information other than their name. On the left, there's a drop down, and that's where your course name will appear. If you were teaching more than one section, all the sections would be there, and you could choose which section you wanted to use. And then these are the types of reports that you can view. You can do a performance overview, you can do a performance on assignments, or just by student, you can choose. And I really encourage everybody to go in here and play around with this. You will not hurt anything, and the more reports you look at, the more you'll find that one you want. So right now we're in the performance overview. and it tells me how many students I have in this class. And this is the assignment performance right now. And on average, my students are at a 72%. This was a 3-week boot camp I did. This is their average on their homework. This is their average on their test scores. And I didn't do quizzes, so there is nothing there. But if you choose it, there will be. Also, when you scroll down, you'll see, because see, I'm still seeing that 72%, but if I scroll down a little, this same information I had up here, now I'm going to start to see as a student breakdown. In your live gradebook, when you take your mouse over these buttons, students' names will appear. This is going to be live data. And this is showing how many students are in low performing, 0 to 9%. There's only 9. And each one of these dots represents a student's name. 16 that are at expectation, which is 70 to 89. And there's 1 that is high performing. This is a really good, quick visual because a lot of times, you know, I'll hear an instructor say, all my classes are bombing decimals. All my students are bombing decimals. They're not getting it. And then we go and we look at this, and they may have 2 students here, and everyone else is, you know, average or above. So it just gives that student, that instructor, a really good, quick visual of, okay, so not everybody's missing this, just 2. And so it gives you the name of the student here so you can get with that student and provide an intervention. You'll see that there's a bar graph down here. So if you scroll down further, you'll be given more information. Here, it's going to show the percent of students performing at that mark. So yes, we've got 9 students performing low performing, but where exactly are they? Are they closer to 60 or are they closer to 70? So this gives you more information on exactly where they are. And also, if you take your mouse over the colored bar, it will give you the name of the module and the topic. Okay. And that pretty well concludes the gradebook. Let me go back to that live class.